Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining today. My name is Audrey. I am the owner and founder of Power and Breath Yoga. And today we're going to go through a class that is about a 15-minute yoga session, ideally designed for the end of the day, maybe winding down before you go to bed or just at the end of a long work day. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin in a seated posture. If you happen to have yoga blocks, maybe grab those, have those nearby just in case. And then go ahead and make your way to a comfortable seated posture. So for many of you, that might mean that you are sitting on one of those blocks or a cushion or a pillow or whatever you happen to have nearby, just to allow your hips to sort of settle and soften a bit. Once you find a comfortable seat, find some stillness. Sit up nice and tall and let the hands rest on your knees or your thighs. If it's comfortable in the space that you're in, you might close the eyes and then just start to tune in. Start to settle into the breath, settling in on your mat. Allowing the thoughts of your busy day to subside. Working to just stay in this moment. Take one more slow breath here, in through the nose. Slowly let it out. At the end of that breath, you might flutter the eyes open if you had them closed. Maybe just wiggle and jiggle a little bit here. Work out some of the kinks. When you are ready, settle back into stillness, sit up nice and tall. With your next breath in, start to lift the arms up. Maybe you look up, maybe the palms touch. And then exhale, slowly bring your hands down to your heart center. Do that 2 more times, moving with your breath. So slow breath in, circle, sweep the arms, look up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Do that 1 more time. Big breath in. Slow breath out. With the next breath in, circle the arms up, look up. This time, take a side bend to the right. So your right hand might come down onto the mat. If you can't quite reach the mat, maybe it's resting on the hip. Your left arm is reaching. Maybe try to straighten the arm, lengthen through the left side of the body. Inhale, come through center, switch sides. Take that side bend to the left. Really pressing down through that right hip to stay nice and long through the right side of the body. Stay long in that left side of the body too. Try not to dump everything over there. Use the inhale, come through center. Take just a gentle twist here. So twisting to your right. Right hand can come behind you. Left hand on the right thigh. Sit up tall. Inhale, unwind, come through center, lift the arms. Exhale, take that twist to the left. Tall spine, big breath in. Slowly exhaling. Use the inhale, unwind, come through center, look up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. From here, let's either switch the cross of your legs. So whatever leg is on top right now, just check that out. Maybe switch the cross of your legs. If it's comfortable for you, maybe switch positions completely and sit with your hips either on the mat or they're on your heels, or maybe you grab a block like I just did and bring that under your hips. So make it comfortable. If this is too much for the ankles or the knees or any other part of your body, go ahead, just go back to that position we were in with the legs crossed. From here, finding your variation of eagle arms. So for a lot of people that might be here with the forearms touching. So elbows touching, forearms touching, palms touching, and then just trying to lift the elbows maybe towards the height of the shoulders. If it's accessible and comfortable for you, you might bring your right elbow underneath of the left elbow, and then maybe the backs of the hands touch. You might even try to weave your hands together and have the palms touch. It's really whatever works for you and your shoulders. So find your variation here. I'm just going to show it with the right elbow underneath and the backs of the hands touching. Take a big, long breath in. Start to find a little back bend. Lift the elbows. Maybe they come higher than the shoulders. And then exhale, round a little bit, hug everything in, bring your elbows towards your knees or your thighs. Do that 2 more times. Big breath in, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, hug it. One more time. Big breath in, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, hug it in. Inhale, come through center, unwind the arms, whatever you found, shake them out a little bit. And then bring your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together, start to lift the chest. As you exhale, find a forward fold here, start to reach the arms overhead. Your forehead might not touch the ground like mine just did. It might be hovering. Your arms might not lift up off of your back. That's okay. Just imagine that they are. Focus on the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. Reach the arms as high as they'll go, as far forward as they'll go. And then slowly start to make your way back up. Release the hands. We'll find that eagle arm on the other side this time. So if you had palms touching, forearms touching, elbows touching, nothing changes. If you found another variation here, it's the left elbow that comes underneath this time. Maybe backs of the hands touch, maybe the palms touch. When you're ready, use the breath in, lift the arms, lift the elbows, start to find a back bend. Exhale, hug it in. Elbows towards the knees or the thighs. 2 more times, moving with your breath. Lift the chest. Exhale, hug it. Last one, big breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, rounding in. Good. Next inhale, come back to center, release the arms, shake them out. We'll take that bound forward fold again. So interlace the fingers, lift the chest again. Exhale, fold forward, reach the arms forward. Stay for a couple more breaths. Use the next inhale, come up out of the fold. Release the arms, shake them out if you need to. You can make your way off of the block. And we'll find a butterfly stretch, Baddha Konasana. Blocks might be really nice here too. You might sit on the blocks. Another option for the blocks when we make this diamond shape with the legs is to bring them under the thighs for a little extra support so you're not feeling all that tension in the hips. It doesn't matter how big this diamond is. Your feet might be further away than mine are. Your feet might be closer than mine are. Just whatever allows you to sit up nice and tall in the spine. So find that nice, straight, lifted spine. And then if it feels comfortable, if it feels like there's room and space in the hips, maybe you start to fold forward a little bit. You can round through the spine. You can let the head and neck be heavy. Maybe start to slow the breathing just a little bit here. Start to settle in. Slowly start to make your way up out of that fold. Bring the legs back towards each other. You can use your hands. Blocks might just come off to the side for a little bit. Take the legs wide. So they're coming into this, I will say, extended V. They don't have to be as wide as mine are. Feet might be a little bit closer. That's okay too. Same thing. Nice tall spine. Maybe you just want to wiggle and jiggle and explore here a little bit. Maybe the forward fold already is calling your name. Stretch out the backs of those legs. Maybe you like a little side stretch first. So just listen to what your body is asking for here. If you like these little side stretches and movement, keep doing it. If you want to settle into that forward fold, you can. Same thing here. Let the upper body just be heavy. Let the head be heavy. Let the spine round a little bit. Can hold on anywhere along the leg that you need to for support. We'll take 3 more breaths here, nice and slow. In and out through the nose. After your third breath, slowly start to make your way up out of the fold. Take your time. We're going to bring the legs back towards each other and make our way onto our back. You can get there in whatever way makes sense. Grab a block just so that you have one handy and maybe just leave it towards the top of the mat. All right, once you make it onto your back, you could take an active bridge here, and I'll talk us through that. You could go right for a supported bridge if you know that that's what your body needs right now. But take your feet hips width distance, toes forward, arms by your sides. Use the breath in, press through all 4 corners of the feet. Start to lift the hips. Make whatever adjustments you need to make here. Maybe the shoulders roll underneath a little bit. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Stay for a couple of more breaths in this active variation. And then slowly start to make your way out of the shape of the vertebrae lower down, the hips lower down, undo the shoulders, maybe even windshield wiper the knees side to side for a moment. Eventually, we'll grab that block and set up a supported bridge. So that same shape, that same bridge shape, but this time lifting the hips and bringing a block under the sacrum, that low back, and just resting here. Don't have to put in any effort. This height might be the right height for you. If you feel like you need a little bit less, can lower to that lowest setting on the block. If you feel like you need a little bit more, you can come on to that highest setting on the block. Take your time deciding, figuring out what works for you here. And then once you have the right height for the block, once you've settled in, maybe close the eyes. Maybe start to slow the breathing a little bit. If this shape is comfortable for you and it is serving you well right now, no need to move, no need to change your position. You're ready to make your way out. Go ahead, lift the hips a little bit, remove the block, and take it off to the side. Maybe windshield wiper the knees side to side again. When you're ready, hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe you rock a little bit here. Can massage the spine a little. And then we'll come into a twist. So keep the left leg hugged in. Extend the right leg out long. Right hand on the outside of that left thigh. You can rock onto the right hip. Once you're there, you can make whatever adjustments you need. So I like to bring my shoulders back onto the mat. Maybe take the left arm to the left. You might look to the left. Maybe you settle in here. Close the eyes, take a few breaths. Really just starting to wind down, starting to tell your body that it's time for rest, time to settle. Starting to unwind, take your time coming out of that twist. Once you make it back to center, you could hug the knees again. One more time. This time, keep the right knee hugging in, left leg extends out. Taking that twist to the left. So coming on to the left hip, making those adjustments. Maybe the shoulders come down. Maybe the right arm extends to the right. Maybe you look to the right. Again, eyes might close here. Slowly start to make your way out of the shape. Coming back onto the back. Maybe you hug the knees in one last time. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then setting up for our final resting posture, our Shavasana. If you're near a wall or near a chair or a couch, someplace where you can elevate your feet, I highly recommend bringing your legs up the wall. To get into that shape, you do have to finagle your hips pretty close to the wall. So right now my left hip is touching the wall, and then you can kind of come up on your forearms a little bit so that you can swing the legs up the wall and then sort of lift the hips a little to get everything square. Once you're there, do whatever you need to do with your legs to make them comfortable. So your knees might bend a little bit, the feet might turn out, arms could be by your side, maybe they're on your belly. There's no right or wrong in this shape. If you're near a couch or a chair, you might have the knees bent and the calves are resting, but you're still in this same general shape with your back on the floor and the legs lifted. Once you're comfortable, you might close the eyes. We'll take 5 slow breaths here, counting them on your own. Really finding some long, slow inhales, slow exhales. Letting go of effort, letting go of thoughts. Feel free to stay in this posture for as long as you'd like. When you are ready to come out, move slowly. Take your time, starting to bring your legs down, bring the hips away from the wall. Maybe you rock onto one side, and then eventually make your way up, finding a comfortable seated posture. Once you're there, eyes can close, hands come to heart center. Take one more breath together to close out the practice. Slow inhale through the nose. Long, slow exhale through the nose. Fluttering the eyes open when you are ready. Thank you for joining me today for this practice. I hope to see you again on your mat soon.